Now we'll directly come to the topic. So very first topic, guys, overview of Indian economy. If you talk about this particular one, okay, so there are few things which are important. You can expect 1 marks question based on these many statements. Okay, so we'll directly deliver to the statements first. आपका so first, the World Bank classification of economies. This have been asked in so many examination. ठीक है, तो ये आपका कौन सा सही क्लासिफिकेशन है, कौन सा नहीं है, दैट इज ऑल्सो वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. ठीक है, सो एज पर वर्ल्ड बैंक क्लासिफिकेशन इकोनॉमीज बेस्ड ऑन पर कैपिटा इनकम वी हैव 4 कैटेगरीज. आपको एक क्वेश्चन मिल सकता है कि विच इज नॉट अ कैटेगरी और इंडिया बिलोंग्स टू विच कैटेगरी. ठीक है, सो वी हैव लो इनकम ग्रुप, वी हैव मिडिल लोअर मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप, वी हैव अपर मिडिल इनकम ग्रुप एंड वी हैव आपका हायर इनकम ग्रुप. ठीक है, सो दीज आर द 4 कैटेगरीज. India fall under the lower middle income category. This can be for half marks question कि as per this particular classification India fall under which category. ठीक है, तो इसको आपको ध्यान रखना है. Countries with per capita income between 996 to 3895 are classified as lower. देखो why I kept this particular point, because India belongs to low capital income. ठीक है, और दिस पर्टिकुलर कंटेंट इज 100% अलाइन विद योर मैकमिलन बुक. तो बुक खोल के मैंने पूरे एकदम टाइप किए हैं बढ़िया से, जिससे आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो. ठीक है, सो वी बिलोंग्स टू दिस कैटेगरी एंड दिस कैटेगरी जहां का आपका अगर हम बेसिक क्लासिफिकेशन देखते हैं दैट इज बेस्ड ऑन दिस. ठीक है, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ परचेजिंग पावर पैरिटी इंडिया इज वर्ल्ड थर्ड लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी. ठीक है, वी आर एट थर्ड लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी. ठीक है, and however based on PCI this rank is also low. ठीक है, how PCI is due to factors like हम यहाँ पे क्या क्या और factors को देख रहे होते हैं. We have poverty, unemployment and illiteracy. ठीक है, at the time of independence India was considered as backward nation. The government tackled development issues through 5-year plan, setting targets and allocating funds for sectorial developments. India in 2019 PCI was this per capita income of this. If you go for the latest data as per NNI, are like it is around $2,880 आपका at present for 2024-25. ठीक है, so 24-25 we stand at this particular position. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हमारा जो NII का डेटा है, NNI का डेटा है, ठीक है, that at per this we belongs to this particular area itself. Alright guys, any doubt please do let me know in this particular one. So you can face, you'll definitely see one question half marks or either 1 marks. If it will be 1 marks आपका ये सारे स्टेटमेंट रहेंगे, और if it is half marks it will be surrounding this. ठीक है, now another one question which I have experienced in past examination, that is factor influencing Indian economy. ठीक है, so क्या क्या फीचर्स हैं आपका इंडियन इकोनॉमी के. so we have low per capita real income, rapid population growth. ठीक है, हाई रेट ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड डिस्कस अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, excessive reliance on primary sector that is agriculture, then we have vicious cycle of poverty and rising unemployment. ठीक है, so these are some major challenges you can say which are generally part of the Indian which Indian economy is facing right now. ठीक है, so now like sometime if they increase the level, so they also go through this phase wise developments आपका. ठीक है, so for that particular one we also have the solution. ठीक है, so Indian economy at glance to 1991 to 1951 to 1980, India's growth rate was slow first 3 decade after independence. 1978 Professor Raj Krishna coined the term called Hindu growth rate. ठीक है, this was asked in your previous examination also for half marks. ठीक है, who coined this particular term called Hindu rate of growth आपका. ठीक है, to describe the slow growth. ठीक है, growth rate hovered around 3.5% with the with per capita income growth averaging 1.3%. then आपका second 1980 to 1990, this was a very tough time for Indian economy. ठीक है, so regretted as a period of economic buoyancy and recovery. ठीक है, so after this like 90s was the period where we actually start moving, but during this particular period we start solving. but economy wise overall the past things which generally कहीं ना कहीं उनका जो बहुत ज्यादा नेगेटिव इंपैक्ट हमें आपका यहाँ पे देखने के लिए मिला था. ड्यूरिंग 6 5-year प्लान 1980 to 1985, India started breaking the Hindu rate of growth, means that slow growth rate and all. We start breaking that particular one. Higher government spendings, providing a much needed fiscal stimulus, and liberalize import policies, increase import of capital goods and raw material, boosted manufacturing and production of luxury goods. Overall numbers wise, like during at the end of the 80s, means आपका beginning of 90s, we were in kind of a crisis. ठीक है, तो उसके बाद ही हम लोग आपका लेके आए थे आपका न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स एंड ऑल. ठीक है, बट देयर वाज लॉट्स ऑफ initiatives और आपका areas which we have done during this particular period. ठीक है, so 1992 to 2002, 91-92 is generally known as new economic reforms आपका. ठीक है, so post reform period, after 1991 economic crisis, ठीक है, implementation of LPG policies, liberalization, privatization and globalization led to positive economic outcomes. ठीक है, so growth was something like this during those 5-year plans आपका. ठीक है, high growth in the eighth plan or 5-year plan was due to increased inflows of foreign capital. Favorable economic policies and global economic boom boosted this particular growth during this particular period. Okay, now the latest one or the present one as per your book. Okay, 2008 growth euphoria created a belief that India was decoupled from the global economy. That Lehman Brothers Bank incident happened during that particular period, or that is also known as global financial crisis 2007-8. So government unprecedented actions to monitor this particular crisis, fiscal stimulus provided through the three packages totaling 1.86 lakh crores, around 3.5% of GDP. ठीक है, तो ये numbers थोड़ा सा जो आपके बुक में भी दिए गए. ठीक है, RBI increased monetary conditions and injected 5.6 lakh crores, around 9% of GDP, into the domestic and external liquidity as well. Okay, so this is the kind of a overall overview of Indian economy. First unit, only half marks to 1 marks question, and the areas that is we have gone through, that is more than enough. And if you have any yes, yeah, 100% आपका वर्षा for आपका for concept wise, I have like मैंने खुद से इस पे बैठ के काम किया है. So I can make sure कि this is more than sufficient for your kind of the entire revision things and all. ठीक है, तो बिल्कुल भी टेंशन नहीं लेना है. Which of the following statement about evolution of Indian economy are correct? So you have to find out the right statement or the most accurate statement with related to overall evolution of Indian economy. ठीक है, तो भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था के विकास के संबंध में आपका कौन सा स्टेटमेंट सही है. So now this is completely historical background, and I have covered each and everything which is given in your books itself. Okay, so we will have the references of that particular one, so that if you have missed the concept classes और अगर आपने कभी अभी तक नहीं भी पढ़ा है तो आप कहीं ना कहीं इनके थ्रू आपका इन सेशंस के थ्रू और after like while go through the PDF parts and all, so you will be able to make your understanding, and by going those particular important areas, so आप अपनी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बिल्ड कर सकते हैं, like even you can answer in the examination itself. ठीक है, so 1600 AD, India's share of global GDP was 23%, while China's share was 29%. ठीक है, this is 100% true. ठीक है, by 1820, India's share of GDP had declined to 16.1% due to British colonial policies. Again, they generally took everything from India, most of the things basically. जो हमारे जितने भी raw materials थे आपके, उन सबको उन्होंने यहाँ से आपका ब्रिटेन पहुंचा दिया, and we face a huge loss, and we can see with the numbers also. So there was a huge decline in the overall contribution of Indian economy in the world economy. In terms of GDP based on purchasing power parity, so where we have purchasing power, I hope you know about this particular concept. So purchasing power is like we have a ranking of GDP economies. One is based on the overall size. So and the another one is like most of the time if you go through the GDP numbers, we are at 5th largest economy in the world. Sometimes it is 6th also. But if you go through the PPB, we are the third largest economy in the world. ठीक है, so okay, so in term of purchasing power parity, India ranked at second in the world. So this statement is wrong. We are at third largest economy. ठीक है, that make this statement wrong. The British East India Company prioritized industrialization in India to boost local manufacturing. No, this is also wrong. ठीक है, so this fourth statement, ठीक है, they do not focus on the industrialization and all. ठीक है, they just focus on India's, their eye was on India's raw material. ठीक है, सो कहीं ना कहीं उनके द्वारा कोई भी ऐसा इंडस्ट्रियल डेवलपमेंट से अदर्स उनके अराउंड काम नहीं किया गया था. ठीक है, तो दिस इज स्टेटमेंट इज रॉन्ग. At the time of independence, India's economy was in distress, requiring systematic organization. So this is आपका 100% true. ठीक है, तो Britishers they took everything or the major resources from India. ठीक है, so just the outcome was कि Indian economy entered into the distress things and we require some systematic kind of development in our economy, so we can like the outcome was we come up with the 5-year plans and all, which were driven by the planning commission itself. Okay, so option 5 is also right. So that means we have to find out the correct statement 1, 2 and 5. Okay, 1, 2 and 5, that means option A only will be right answer for this particular one. All right, so statement 3 was incorrect. India ranked third, not second in case of PPP, purchasing power parity, after USA and China. USA at 1 and China is second. India, statement 4 was wrong. British East India Company ignored industrialization, instead focus on exploiting raw materials. Okay, so this is the correct statement about that particular one. Remainings we have discussed. Okay, so let's have a look around this particular one. So with every unit I'll give you some sort of additional study materials and all. Okay, so whenever you go through these particular PDFs, please have a look around these particular things. Okay, so this is the very first slide, so I would like to study this particular one. According to the Angus Medicine database, India and China contributed 50% of global GDP in 1000 AD, computed 1990 dollars. Okay, and purchasing power and in purchasing power terms, in 16 AD, that figure had risen to 52%. China's account 29%, India accounting 23% of the global GDP. A century later, China GDP share had declined while India's had risen by 24.4% of the world output. So this is the kind of a time जहाँ पे हमारा जो ओवरऑल शेयर था इन द वर्ल्ड जीडीपी दैट वाज अराउंड 24.40%. ठीक है, देन ब्रिटिशर्स केम. ठीक है, तो इसको देखते हुए ब्रिटिशर्स इंडिया में आए आपका. ठीक है, एंड they altered the dynamics by 1820. India shares has plummeted to 16.1%. ठीक है, तो इतना उनकी वजह से हमारा सीधा सीधा जो नुकसान आपका देखने के लिए मिला. ठीक है, so according to the International Monetary Fund IMF, India contributed of global GDP reached to 7.3% in 2021. Now it is like 7.3%. However, in terms of GDP purchasing power parity, India ranked at third position world only after USA and China. Today, India is one of the largest emerging economy in the world itself. India's economic performance during the British Raj was dismal. The colonial states' policies were significant barriers to a country's growth. The recurring famines and disease outbreak. ठीक है, तो आपका जो अकाल पड़ा था या फिर आपका जो महामारी का दौर था, ठीक है, outbreak in India throughout the second half of the 19th century and first half of the 20th century demonstrate the British government socio-economic irresponsibility. The pre-independence period was characterized by near stagnation with little change in the organization of production or productivity levels. So this is something ki how Britishers they generally exploit or they generally they completely destroyed the Indian economy itself. Okay? So the basic background आपका. Next one. consider the following statement with regard to Indian economy and you have to find out the incorrect statement. Okay, so what you have to find out? Incorrect statement. Okay. India fall under lower middle income economy category as per the World Bank classification, 100% true. So this is the right statement. Okay. In terms of purchasing power parity, India at fifth. Okay, India is third after USA and China. Okay, this is wrong. India has a high per capita income compared to other developing nations. No, we have a low per capita income compared to other developing nations. So what will be your right answer? What we have to find out? Incorrect statement. That means 2 and 3. That means option B will be right answer for this one. This is a very easy question. I hope everybody would be they able to answer this particular question. ठीक है, सभी का आंसर इसके लिए सही हुआ होगा. ठीक है, चलो कुछ बीच बीच में ऐसे मतलब आपके जो आपके मोरल बूस्टर क्वेश्चंस में मिलेंगे आपको, जिससे कहीं ना कहीं लाइक यू कैन हैव दैट फेथ इन दैट कंटेंट कि हाँ जो आप पढ़ रहे हो उनसे आप चीजों को लर्न करो और you are able to make the right answer. ठीक है, so World Bank classify economies considering per capita income. ठीक है, so there are 4 categories, namely low income, ठीक है, जिसमें mostly you will see the underdeveloped nations. ठीक है, then we have lower middle income जहां पे इंडियन इकोनॉमी को रखा गया. then upper middle income, ठीक है, those who are transition in the transition phase from developing to develop or some developed nations also, and higher income mostly आपका developed nations. ठीक है, so Indian economy fall under the category of low. Please do remember this one, ये बहुत बार पूछा गया ये categorization आपका. ठीक है, so Indian economy fall under the category of lower middle income economy. Countries that have per capita income between $996 to 3,895 fall in others particular classification. मतलब lower income के अंदर generally क्या आता है आपका, जिनकी जो per capita income है that is आपका from 996 USD per annum to आपका $3,895. In 2019 as per capita income India's was आपका 1891. So that's why we generally comes under this one. Still we are part of the your lower middle income category of World Bank. So Indian economy in term of purchasing power parity, so we are at third position. This we have discussed earlier also. The low per capita income is mainly attributed to a high level of poverty, unemployment and literacy. ठीक है, what are the kind of consequences of this particular one? ठीक है, guys, like कि हमारे यहाँ पे पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा है एंड दैट लीड टू पॉवर्टी, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड इलिटरेसी. ठीक है, India was a backward nation at the time of its independence. The government addressed the developmental issues through a 5-year plan. I hope you guys know first 5-year plan duration was 1951 to 1956. ठीक है, so we will be discussing those particular one just after next session. ठीक है, so it is all about the planning things and all. By setting target and ensuring the allocation of funds for the development of various sectors. So we used to have some sort of target. Like first 5-year plan was based on agriculture and allied activities development. Second 5-year plan was based on industrial developments. ठीक है, तो जहाँ पे बहुत सारे जो आपके बड़े बड़े जो डैम्स हैं वो आपके बनाए गए थे. ठीक है, नॉट डैम्स, आपका जो स्टील प्लांट्स आपके थे. इन फर्स्ट वन वॉज आपका एग्रीकल्चर एंड इरिगेशन. सो वी बिल्ड अप डैम लाइक भाखरा नांगल डैम एंड ऑल. ठीक है, so a number of factor influence the nature and characteristics of Indian economy. Some of these factors are low per capita real income. Real income is something which is like we have nominal income, we have real income. No, real income which is adjusted with the inflation rate. Okay, so that is the one. Rapid population growth, high rate of unemployment and underemployment and discuss unemployment. So these are the form of unemployment basically. ठीक है, एक तो सिंपल आपका अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, दूसरा अंडर एम्प्लॉयमेंट आपका. ठीक है, और तीसरा आपका डिस्कस्ड अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट मींस अदृश्य बेरोजगारी, इसको हम हिंदी में आपका बोलते हैं. ठीक है, सो फॉर वन लाइक लेट्स से इट इज जनरली विद रेफरेंस टू एग्रीकल्चर, और लेट्स से देयर इज अ एग्रीकल्चर फैमिली. ठीक है, they have this much of land. Let's say 2% can like this can employ to 2%, but we have 10% who generally dependent on this much of land. So this is something कि 10 लोग आपका इस पे काम करें जहां पे सिर्फ 2 लोगों को होना चाहिए था, because they do not have any alternates. That's why they're working in this. So this is your disguised unemployment. ठीक है, disguised unemployment. excessive reliance on primary sector. Even today itself, more than like 50% of dependency on primary sector agriculture, where we have minimal contribution from that particular one. Okay? So if you study the Indian GDP, so India's economy is like, if you talk about the contribution part, so we have maximum contribution from service sector. Okay? But if you talk about the dependency, so again we have maximum dependency on primary sector. Okay? So contribution wise service, then secondary sector which is industries, then आपका primary sector. But dependency wise the game got reversed. ठीक है? तो हमारा क्या है, आपका सबसे ज्यादा डिपेंडेंसी है किसके ऊपर, एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर, प्राइमरी सेक्टर, देन सेकेंडरी सेक्टर आपका इंडस्ट्रीज एंड ऑल, एंड देन आपका टर्सरी सेक्टर. ठीक है, तो कंट्रीब्यूशन इन डिपेंडेंसी में बहुत बड़ा आपका गैप दिखेगा. ठीक है, देन विक्सियस साइकिल ऑफ पॉवर्टी. ठीक है, तो जो पॉवर्टी साइकिल्स हमारा, पॉवर्टी रेट्स एंड ऑल, दैट इज वेरी हाई. ठीक है, बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन इवन जिसके जो पैरामीटर्स एंड दैट इज वेरी स्मॉल पैरामीटर्स. ठीक है, लाइक इफ यू आर अर्निंग 1400 और समथिंग रुपीज, तो वहां पे भी उसके नीचे भी देर आर नंबर ऑफ पीपल्स अभी भी जो आपके इस उसमें रहते हैं. ठीक है, एंड राइजिंग अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. सो दीज आर सम चैलेंजेस फॉर द इंडियन इकोनॉमी इटसेल्फ. ठीक है दोस्तों, चलो आगे बढ़ते हैं. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आपका, which of the following statement about Indian economy during British rule are correct? Now one thing you have to make some understanding, like see, this is a kind of process oriented topic. ठीक है, so you'll study something here that is going to help you in your upcoming sessions. ठीक है, तो हमेशा ये ध्यान रखना, जो इकोनॉमिक आर्किटेक्चर वाला टॉपिक है, इट इज इंटरलिंक. इवन नॉट ओनली दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. ठीक है, मॉड्यूल ए एंड बी दे हैव इंटरलिंक. ठीक है, टॉपिक you will get references from some other topic. ठीक है, let's say if you are studying about the monetary policy, so they have direct link with the fiscal policy as well as your inflation. ठीक है, तो अगर आप जीडीपी पढ़ रहे हैं तो उसका लिंक आपका किसी और के साथ इस तरीके से आपका कहीं ना कहीं रहेगा. ठीक है, सो ये चीजें डाउन द लाइन वंस यू विल कंप्लीट द एंटायर मॉड्यूल ना, यू विल फील वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट बिकॉज नाउ यू विल हैव the entire things or the required content for that particular subject. ठीक है, तो what I want from all of you, that is your patience. ठीक है, तो आप पेशेंस के साथ हर एक उसको पढ़िए, समझिए, और अगर चैलेंजेस आते हैं हम ऑलवेज देयर. ठीक है, चलो पढ़िए, समझिए. ठीक है, सो इंडियाज इकोनॉमी ड्यूरिंग ब्रिटिश रूल आर करेक्ट. सो करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट हमें फाइंड आउट करने हैं. So India's commerce, trade, investment were negatively impacted by the unilateral transfer of capital and raw materials to Britain. ठीक है, so they pick everything and they send it to आपका ब्रिटेन. दिस इज ट्रू. ठीक है, बहुत ज्यादा. और हमने वी हैव सीन द जीडीपी नंबर्स आल्सो. ठीक है, अभी हमने आपका जो ग्लोबल कंट्रीब्यूशन था वो कहां से कहां आ गया. ठीक है, सो इट इज लाइक देयर वाज अ ह्यूज गैप इन दोस पर्टिकुलर नंबर्स. अंडर ब्रिटिश रूल इंडिया हैड अ हाई क्वालिटी ऑफ लेबर. नो, वी हैड low quality of labors. ठीक है, not high quality, low quality of labor market with significant industrial growth. No, this is completely wrong. Dadabhai Naoroji was the first to establish India's national income and published it in his book Poverty and British Rule in India. So this is 100% true. India's share of global income declined from 23% in 1680 to 3% by 1947. This is also correct. By 1947, India per capita income had risen to 250 per year. This was the again this is also correct. So what we have to find out, correct statement, that means 1, 3, 4, 5. Only statement 2 is incorrect. So 1, 2, no, 2, this is not, this is not. So option D will be right answer for this one. So option D will be right answer for this one. So only statement incorrect was 2. India remained a low quality labor market with minimal industrial growth during this ब्रिटिश एरा इटसेल्फ. ठीक है, तो अब आप थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे जल्दी से डिस्कशन कर लेते हैं. सो ड्यूरिंग ब्रिटिश कॉलोनियलिज्म India's commerce, trade, investment were hampered by the unilateral transfer of capital and raw materials to Britain. The neglected social sector had a negative impact on the company's production and productivity. Furthermore, under British rule, India remained a low quality labor market as a result of Britain steady industrialization, India's economic situation was in a dire state of affairs. According to the statistic, less than 1/6 of Indians were only illiterate during that particular period. So जिसमें भी कार्ड आपका लॉर्ड मैकाले का थोड़ा बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन था. The country's survival had been called into questions due to abject poverty and sharp social differences. Dadabhai Naorozi published the first estimate of national income in India in his book Poverty and Un-British Rule in India in the year 1867-68. Please do remember this year also. According to him, British India national income was was rupees 340 crores as per and per capita income was 20 per annum in current prices. At current prices, this work out to rupees 142 per annum in 1948-49 prices. Other economists of the period like William Digby, and we have Sri Raj, V.K.R.V. Rao and R.C. Desai produce estimate of the India's national income and finding were almost identical. So ये हम लोग आपको इनको आने वाले समय में डिस्कस भी करेंगे आपका. ठीक है. So like however like by 1947 we reached to a price of 250 per year. ठीक है. So this is something about the like which Indian economy faced during that particular period. ठीक है. चलो next one guys, next question. Which of the following statement correctly describe the economic impact of British rule in India? So जो अभी हमने आपका डिस्कस किया उसी से रिलेटेड आपका क्वेश्चन प्रीवियस भी और ये भी आपका. ठीक है. So British okay statement are missing. I'll mention here 1, then we have 2, then we have 3, then we have 4, and we have 5, and we have 6 statement. ठीक है. So हाँ ठीक है 6 statements and you have to find out the correct statement. Okay, so which of the following statement is correct about the economic impact of British rule in India? So the British land taxation system exploited Indian farmers through Jamidari and Mahalwari and आपका रियोतवारी सिस्टम. ठीक है. सो ये उस समय के आपके रूल्स आपके होते थे. ठीक है. दिस इज ट्रू. ठीक है. फर्स्ट स्टेटमेंट इज करेक्ट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर केस. ठीक है. The process of deindustrialization in India was aggravated by unfavorable British trade policies. ठीक है. So statement 2 is also correct. ठीक है. The British introduced railway in India primarily to benefit Indian industries and economic growth. नहीं, ये आपका उनको मतलब railways आपका Britishers के द्वारा लाया गया. ठीक है. So the maximum railways work is done by the Britishers, but the agenda was not Indian industries and growth, it was like their own connectivity. ठीक है. So जिससे वो आपका दूर दराज की जो resources हैं they can मतलब उनको आपका जो भी पोर्ट बंदरगाह हैं वहां तक आपका पहुंचा सके और वहां से ब्रिटेन भेज सके. ठीक है. दिस मेक दिस स्टेटमेंट रॉन्ग. ठीक है. Wealth drain from India to Britain occurs through remittances, home charges and transfer of private income आपका. ठीक है. Yes. This is also correct. Fourth statement is correct. The economic, the commercialization of agriculture led to increase food security. No, this is आपका fifth one is like clearly गलत दिख रहा है. The commercialization of agriculture led to increase in food security. No, इसकी वजह से तो हमने क्या किया? We faced that famine situation in all. And prosperity for Indian farmers. There was nothing like prosperity during that period. But this is also wrong. The introduction of Western education aimed at creating a workforce loyal to British administration. This was true. उन्होंने हमें educate क्यों किया कि we can understand their policies और even we can help them कि हम आपका जो हमारे Indians उनको उसी direction में आपका लेके जा सके. ठीक है. So this is also true. So what we have to find out correct statement 1, 2, 4, 6. 1, 2, 4. Option A only is the right answer for this particular one. Understood guys? So option A. Statement 3 was incorrect. The railway were primarily developed to serve British economic interests. So they can have a better connectivity and all. industrial growth was not the primary goal. ठीक है. Fifth was incorrect. Commercialization of agriculture led to famine and distress rather than the prosperity. ठीक है. So these two statement was wrong. Rest are correct. ठीक है. Next one. Who coined the term Hindu rate of growth to describe India's slow economic growth? So it is coined by Raj Krishna. Okay? So Raj Krishna, Professor Raj Krishna was the person who come up with this Hindu rate of growth आपका. ठीक है. तो मतलब like जो आपका जो कैलकुलेशंस होता है ना पॉपुलेशंस का सेंसस जिसको हम लोग आपका बोलते हैं, सो दे जनरली कम अप विद दिस पर्टिकुलर वन. ठीक है. सो प्रोफेसर राज कृष्णा इंट्रोड्यूस द टर्म Hindu rate of growth to describe India's slow economic growth rate from the 1950s to 1980s also. ठीक है. So next one. Which of the following statement accurately describe India's economic trajectory between 1980 to 2008? ठीक है. Now this is something कि जहां पे we have reached in the current status आपका. ठीक है. जो हम लोगों का जो current status है या like what we have seen in the previous during that particular period. ठीक है. So 80s मतलब यहाँ पे ना like 90s was the period जहाँ पे India's economy suffer a lot. ठीक है. Our 80s वाला जो पूरा दशक था. ठीक है. So the 10 years. ठीक है. So our economic reserve was very less. ठीक है. We can have only like 1 week or 2 week trade. ठीक है. So that न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी दैट बिकम अ गेम चेंजर. ठीक है. सो यहाँ पे बहुत सारे अप एंड डाउन्स आपको देखने के लिए मिलेंगे. देयर वाज लॉट्स ऑफ स्कैम इन द मार्केट. ठीक है. लाइक हर्षद मेहता या अदर स्टैम्प पेपर एंड ऑल. ठीक है. सो 80 से 90 यहाँ पे डाउन्स भी बहुत हैं और अप भी बहुत है. ठीक है. वी कम अप विद न्यू इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसी और न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स कॉल्ड एलपीजी बेस्ड ऑन एलपीजी मॉडल. और इसके अलावा द एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ सेबी, द एस्टेब्लिशमेंट ऑफ एडा और the liberalization, globalization, privatization, and eventually we face the global recession by the end of this particular one. ठीक है. So that was led by the US economy, Lehman Brothers banks आपका वहां से. तो ये जो period है that was like a period of fluctuations, बहुत सारे up and downs जो हमें यहाँ पे देखने के लिए मिले. So the 1980 saw a decline in GDP growth due to lower public spending, but fiscal deficit contracted significantly. No, आपका गलत स्टेटमेंट है. So decline in GDP growth due to lower public spending. ठीक है. So it was like 80s was the period जहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत आपका like we have some sort of like up and downs आपका. ठीक है. And saw a decline. ठीक है. So to protect this, what government generally did? So they generally increase the मतलब to protect this particular situation, they increase this आपका public spending, and if they are increasing this, so your fiscal deficit will also increase. So this make this statement wrong. In 1991, economic crisis led to the introduction of structural reform under an IMF backed program. ठीक है. This is true. ठीक है. So statement 2 is right. ठीक है. So 1992 1991 आपका. ठीक है. जहां पे हम लोग वी कम अप विद द न्यू इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म्स थिंग्स, एंड यहां से एक नया आपका जो दौर शुरू हुआ इंडियन इकोनॉमी के लिए. इंडियाज करंट अकाउंट डेफिसिट turned into surplus during late 90s due to strong FDI flows. ठीक है. So this was like this statement is also correct. The golden quadrilateral highway project. So golden quadrilateral highway project initiated in 2000 play a crucial role to boosting infrastructure driven growth. So basically it is about the connectivity of these जो हम लोग आपके जो महानगर जिनको आपका बोलते हैं ना, बड़ी बड़ी सिटीज लाइक मुंबई, कोलकाता, चेन्नई, आपका दिल्ली, हैदराबाद एंड ऑल. ठीक है. इनके संबंध में आपका ये दिस वाज द प्रोजेक्ट. ठीक है. दैट लीड टू द बेटर कनेक्टिविटी एंड ऑल. ठीक है. So this is also correct. In 2008, financial crisis led to India GDP contracting for 2 consecutive years. So the 2008 global financial crisis led to India's GDP contracting for 2 consecutive years. We have the impact of global financial crisis, but I'm little bit doubt about this 2 consecutive years and all. सो फर्स्ट आई जस्ट वांट टू मैच द ऑप्शंस, ठीक है। तो दूसरा, तीसरा एंड चौथा, ठीक है। दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा, ओके। एक हमारे पास इधर बी, दूसरा, तीसरा, चौथा एंड पांचवा, ओके, सी एंड ए। ओके, आई विल गो विद ऑप्शन बी, ठीक है। वी जस्ट वांट टू कंफर्म दिस आंसर। यस, हाँ, ऑप्शन बी, तो इट इज ऑल्सो रॉन्ग आपका, ठीक है। सो व्हाई दिस इज रॉन्ग, फर्स्ट वी विल डिस्कस दिस वन ओनली, ठीक है। So while the 2008 global financial crisis slowed India's growth, India did not experience two consecutive years of GDP contractions. Instead, the government provides fiscal and monetary stimulus to sustain the growth itself. ठीक है, as we generally did during the COVID period also. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे हमारी इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट हुआ था, that has a kind of a global impact, worldwide impact आपका था, but ये जो कॉन्ट्रैक्शंस आपका है ना जीडीपी के अंदर, जो 2 साल कंटिन्यूस कॉन्ट्रैक्शन इज समथिंग, आपका 2 साल कंटिन्यू आपका नेगेटिव ग्रोथ, ठीक है, दैट वी डिडंट फेस ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड आल्सो. So government generally handled this particular one through the fiscal and monetary aid itself. First one was incorrect. In 1980 saw a rise in GDP growth, but it was driven by high government spending leading to, there was a rise and it was leading to your government spendings, and which eventually increased the fiscal deficit also. ठीक है, so these two statement which were wrong in this particular situation. ठीक है, चलो थोड़ा सा आपके ये phases हैं, इनको जल्दी से आपका रिवाइज कर लेते हैं, ठीक है। इकोनॉमी टिल 2008 and after 2008, ठीक है, 1951 to 80, India's growth rate was slow during the first three decade after independence. 1978, Professor Raj Krishna coined 1978 Professor Raj Krishna, who coined a phrase Hindu growth rate to describe the slow growth rate of Indian economy. Okay, this was linked with the slow growth rate of Indian economy. The term referred to India's planned economy, India's planned economy's slow annual growth rate, which hovered around 3.5% from 1950 to 1980, while per capita income growth was average 1.3%. 1980 to 90, this is widely regarded as per the period of economic buoyancy and recovery. Economic buoyancy and recovery. Like basically we came here, then from here we generally start moving up. Only during the sixth 5-year plan, 1980 to 1985, India could break the curse of Hindu growth rate. So India could break the curse of Hindu growth rate. मतलब एक particular area में हम लोग, जैसे आपका जो हेलीकॉप्टर है वो हॉवर करता है ना, आपका एक एरिया में घूमता रहता है, उसी तरीके की कंडीशन हमारी यहाँ पे थी. So that like during this particular period we break that particular one and we start moving up. Okay? Higher government spending, which provided much needed fiscal stimulus to economy, is one of the factors. So that means government, they start increasing their spending on the capital goods, as well as they generally trying to increase the overall consumptions also. ठीक है, तो मीन्स आपका जो बजट के दौरान जो स्पेंडिंग्स थी, गवर्नमेंट दे इंक्रीज दैट पर्टिकुलर वन, एंड कहीं ना कहीं जो सोर्स थे आपके, दैट इज फ्रॉम द बोरोविंग्स, so that also lead to the fiscal deficit also, right? So they liberalize import policies of the government, increase the import of capital goods and raw material for manufacturing, boosting the production of luxury goods in the country itself. ठीक है, 1992 to 2008, ठीक है, so 1991-92, that is kind of a gap for the economic things, क्योंकि वहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा खराब हालत थी. Then we come up with that new economic policy, then this थोड़ा सा advancement आप करें. So this popularly referred as post reforms, ठीक है, post reforms आपका, that LPG things and all. Following 1991 economic crisis, the implementation of reforms and the adoption of LPG, liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies paved the way for positive economic outcome and higher GDP growth. The economic grow at 6.7% during the 8th 5-year plan, 1992 to 1997, 5.3% during the 9th 5-year plan, 1997 to 2002, and 7.6% during 10th 5-year plan 2002 to 2007. ठीक है. The main reason for high growth rate in 8th 5-year plan was to increase the inflow of foreign capital, which was a direct result of the new economic policy 1991. Okay, so we come up with this liberalization things. That means we made rules and regulation like it is something link that is nowadays called ease of doing business. ठीक है, तो जो गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसीज आपकी थी या जो गवर्नमेंट का इंटरफेरेंस आपका था उसको कम किया गया. We start giving license to private companies or private parties, and we start actively participating in आपका globalization. ठीक है, FEMA, accordingly we change our FERA Act to FEMA Act. FERA Act was something related to conservation of the foreign reserve, and this FEMA is like kind of a two-way thing. Okay, if you want to make investment outside India, or if you want to मतलब कहीं ना कहीं टू अट्रैक्ट द फॉरेन इन्वेस्टमेंट इनफ्लो एंड आउटफ्लोज, ठीक है, तो उनको एक स्मूथ लाइन या स्ट्रीम लाइन आपका करने की कोशिश की गई. ठीक है, तो दैट इज अ काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. ठीक है, 2008 to 2021, 2008 euphoria had led to widespread belief that Indian economy was decoupled from that of the developed worlds in days following the Lehman collapse. ठीक है, so 2008 itself. ठीक है, so कहीं ना कहीं like not only Indian economy, most of the world economies they get affected through this particular systemic risk. ठीक है, तो आपका जो सिस्टेमिक रिस्क, क्योंकि वी डू हैव डिपेंडेंसी ऑन यूएस इकोनॉमी, एंड ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड यूएस इकोनॉमी वाज फेसिंग इश्यूज. ठीक है, तो कहीं ना कहीं उसका इम्पैक्ट हमारी इकोनॉमी के अंदर भी आपका देखने के लिए मिला. ठीक, हाउएवर इन द मंथ ऑफ फॉलोइंग September 8, इंडिया लुक unprecedented actions in order to mitigate the effect. What we generally did, government provided fiscal stimulus, जैसे आपका कोविड के दौरान हमने किया था. The economy was bolstered by the three stimulus packages totaling 1.86 lakh करोड़. ठीक है, तो इतने का जैसे कोविड के दौरान आपका राहत पैकेज लेके आए गए थे, सिमिलरली वी आल्सो डिड द सेम थिंग्स during that 2008 recession. That was 3.5% of India's GDP. The RBI dramatically eased monetary conditions and injected a whopping 5.6 lakh crores, roughly 9% of GDP in the domestic and external liquidity. So basically, with this fiscal and monetary measures, we generally try to control the situation which we generally face during that particular period. ठीक है, अब अगला क्वेश्चन आप जानते हैं इसका आंसर. ठीक है, how much fiscal stimulus did Indian government provide to support the economy post 2008? कितना था? 1.86 lakh crores. ठीक है, so we just discussed this particular one. I hope you remember this. ठीक है, और RBI के थ्रू आपका जो चेंजेस थे that was around 5.6 lakh crores. That was roughly 9%, and it was 3.5% of the GDP itself. ठीक है, so next one, guys, consider the following statement regarding the impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. ठीक है, so Indian economy के ऊपर आपका just a minute. हाँ, so consider the following statement regarding the impact of COVID-19 on Indian economy. So India's GDP contractions in 2020 was among the highest globally, primarily due to its early adoption of lockdowns. ठीक है, देखो पहली चीज तो मतलब हम लोग हाईएस्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्शन में नहीं थे. ठीक है, दूसरी चीज आपका अर्ली अडॉप्शन हमारे यहाँ पे नहीं था, विच सिग्निफिकेंटली रिड्यूस द इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी दैट इन आपका कहीं ना इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज के अंदर देयर वाज अ रिडक्शन. सो आई विल नॉट गो फॉर ऑप्शन ए. द इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट ऑफ सेकंड वेव वाज लेसर than the first wave because business and individual had adopted better to the crisis. This seems correct. ठीक है, second wave आते आते we like adjusted ourselves how to live with these kind of disease or these kind of situation. Like during first wave it was completely new to us. ठीक है, हमारे लिए वो बिल्कुल एकदम नया था, and we have never a thought कि आपका कभी ऐसा भी होगा कि पूरे देश भर में लॉकडाउन रहेगा, ठीक है। सो एकदम सडन से चीजें हुई विदाउट एनी प्रिपरेशन, तो उसका बहुत बड़ा इम्पैक्ट हुआ। सेकंड, ड्यूरिंग दैट सेकंड वेव आपका गवर्नमेंट वाज आल्सो प्रिपेयर्ड एंड इंडिविजुअल लेवल पीपल वर आल्सो प्रिपेयर फॉर दैट वन, ठीक है। तो दिस इज ट्रू। इंडियाज फिस्कल एंड मॉनेटरी रिस्पॉन्स टू कोविड-19 वाज centered around direct cash transfer and supply side reforms rather than large scale demand stimulus, ठीक है। So this is also true। जैसे आपका there was some small scheme, ठीक है, जैसे आपका पीएम स्वनिधि योजना, या मतलब like what government did during that particular period, they come up with small schemes and all, ठीक है। So we can help out peoples कि हाँ they can have self sufficiency, self dependency and all those kind of things, ऐसा नहीं। और even there was some direct transfer benefits and all to the migrant workers, a scheme like Manrega। So during COVID period, what we generally did, we did additional allotment to Manrega, we increase government, like they say migrant they generally move to their native places, ठीक है, so rural areas के अंदर। Now what will be the sources of earning for these people? So what government did, they allot more money to that particular scheme, that was a maximum allotment to the Manrega scheme, that was beyond 1 lakh crores, ठीक है। So आपका we increase the wages also, ठीक है, for the Manrega workers। So with these particular initiative we generally try to handle that particular one, कि अगर आप मेट्रो सिटीज से जहां पे आप वर्क कर रहे थे वहां से रूरल एरियाज में शिफ्ट हो गए हो, तो वहां पे थोड़ा बहुत आपको रोजगार मिले जिससे आप अपना जीवन जी सकें। सो दैट वाज द वन। सो दिस इज आल्सो ट्रू। So we have to find out the correct statement. So 2 and 3, that means option B will be right answer for this particular one, ठीक है। तो statement 1 was incorrect। While India's GDP contraction was it was not solely due to early adoption of lockdown, but rather than due to stringency of lockdown measure compared to other nations of, ठीक है। So rest these two statements were correct in this particular one, ठीक है। Next one, what was the annual GDP contraction for India in 2020-21? याद है? It was 6.6%. Okay? So contraction means, like let's say India's GDP it suddenly came here. ठीक है? तो हम लोग -6.6% में आपका पहुंच गए during 2020-21. ठीक है? So during 2020-21, contraction in our GDP was like this. Our GDP entered into negative. The negative growth, which is known as contractions, it was 6.6%. उसके बाद हमने एक वर्ड बहुत ज्यादा सुना, that V safe recovery, ठीक है। Suddenly then we came to here also, ठीक है। तो अगले साल आपका we reached to here, then आपका again that same range between 6 to 7%, which we used to have earlier also, ठीक है। तो उस तरीके से आपका ये जो, तो इस दौरान हम लोग, आप लोगों ने अगर थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ाई करी होगी, ठीक है, तो उस समय आपने सुना होगा वी सेव रिकवरी काफी ज्यादा रहता था न्यूज़पेपर में ऑल। तो दिस वाज द काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स कि एकदम से गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स या जब इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन या इंडस्ट्रीज या उठे या निकले, तो देन वी हैव अ क्विक ग्रोथ आल्सो, दैट इज द वन, ठीक है। 6.6%, राइट। नेक्स्ट वन गाइस, so this is the overall chart आपका, you do not have to remember this entire chart and all this, just some figures which were given in your book, ठीक है। so sector wise, ठीक है, sector wise recovery patterns आपका, ठीक है। 2020-21, this is the year of आपका कोविड-19। 2021 लॉकडाउन का ईयर था, ठीक है। सो जैसे आप देखो यहाँ पे देयर आर सम सेक्टर्स जो इंडिया के लिए सेवर बने, ठीक है। जैसे एज आई सेड अर्लियर ऑल्सो ना, कि इंडियाज डिपेंडेंसी, वी हैव मैक्सिमम डिपेंडेंसी ऑन एग्रीकल्चर, प्राइमरी सेक्टर, ठीक है, एंड दैट बिकम सेवियर फॉर इंडियन इकोनॉमी। देयर वाज सम डेवलप्ड नेशन लाइक यूएस में भी आपने देखा होगा कि देयर इज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ लूट एंड ऑल, ठीक है, लोग मॉल में चोरी कर रहे हैं या कुछ भी ऐसा आपका हो रहा है, ठीक है। बट दैट नॉट हैपन इन इंडिया बिकॉज वी हैव मैक्सिमम डिपेंडेंसी ऑन आर प्राइमरी सेक्टर, एग्रीकल्चर के ऊपर आपका, ठीक है, दैट सेवर्स, ठीक है, बिकॉज ड्यूरिंग दैट पीरियड ऑल्सो इट वॉज इन पॉजिटिव, ठीक है। और अगर हम मतलब डिपेंडेंसी आपको भले इकोनॉमी वाइज, बिकॉज मैक्सिमम वी डिपेंड ऑन contribution wise, we were like we even today itself, we have dependency on tertiary sectors, ठीक है। अब tertiary में like there was no one for to receive our orders and all, ठीक है, तो प्रोजेक्ट नहीं थे, अदर्स नहीं था, तो उसका नेगेटिव इम्पैक्ट आपको देखो यहाँ पे देखने के लिए मिलेगा, ठीक है। कहाँ गया टर्सरीज में, कहीं पे लिखा नहीं है क्या, ठीक है। माइनिंग क्वेरीज, ट्रेड, होटल्स, ये सब आपके जो हैं, ठीक है। सो आपका जितने भी हैं, ठीक है, इट वेंट इनटू नेगेटिव डेट्स, ठीक है। कंस्ट्रक्शन आपका, अब कंस्ट्रक्शन कैसे होगा, सब कुछ तो बंद हो गया, 7, ठीक है। सी दिस इज समथिंग विच इज पार्ट ऑफ योर टर्सरी। तो टर्सरी के अंदर यू कैन सी जो आपका थर्ड सेवा क्षेत्र होता है, वहां पे आप देखिए कितना बड़ा कॉन्ट्रेक्शन आपका है, ठीक है। सो ये चीज आपका हुआ, ठीक है। बट दिस इवेंचुअली सेव अस, ठीक है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे हमारा लाइक maximum half of India is still dependent on this agriculture sector, ठीक है। So this is a something like एक overall आपका agenda जो उस दौरान आपका हुआ। You do not have to remember or memorize all these particular. This is kind of a quick fact, ठीक है। Next one, which of the following statement about Indian economy economic transformation are correct? अब ये पोस्ट कोविड की बात हो रही है, ठीक है, या ओवरऑल आपका बात हो रही है, ठीक है। सो हाउ इंडियन इकोनॉमी transform from our bad phase to the current status, ठीक है। So in 1950 agriculture was dominant sector contributing more than 50% to GDP, 100% to by 1980-81 the service sector had surpassed agriculture as largest contributor to GDP। आज भी ये सबसे बड़ा contributor है, ठीक है। So see, you have to understand this, ठीक है। If you talk about the contribution in Indian economy, so we have something like this, ठीक है। This is, let's say आपका we have a chart like this, ठीक है। This is our primary sector, ठीक है। This is our secondary sector and sorry, this is our secondary sector and this is our tertiary sector, ठीक है। Primary sector means agriculture and allied activities, secondary is manufacturing industries, tertiary is service sector which include like hotel, restaurants, IT, banking, insurance and all, ठीक है। So contribution wise we have something like this, ठीक है, कुछ इस तरीके से आपका where we have maximum contribution from the tertiary sector which came from like with effective from this particular years, ठीक है। If you talk about the dependency, on the basis of dependency we have something like this, ठीक है। So this is your primary sector, this is your secondary and this is your tertiary, ठीक है। So maximum dependency still even today itself we have on primary agriculture, then आपका secondary industries and all, then tertiary आपका, ठीक है। So the industry sector had the highest GDP share in 1980-81, ठीक है। The industry, no, this is wrong, ठीक है। So आपका this was कहीं ना कहीं आपका जैसे यहाँ पे क्लियरली लिखा ना, तो स्टेटमेंट का कॉन्ट्राडिक्ट हो रहा है, ठीक है। सो मैक्सिमम वाज बेस्ड फ्रॉम दिस आपका सर्विस सेक्टर, ठीक है। सो ऑप्शन 1 एंड 2 आपका, ठीक है, करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट। सो ऑप्शन ए शुड बी राइट आंसर फॉर दिस वन, ठीक है। सो स्टेटमेंट थर्ड वाज इनकरेक्ट। द इंडस्ट्री सेक्टर वाज थर्ड इन 1980-81 contributing 25.90%, not the highest one, ठीक है। द हाईएस्ट वन वाज आपका सर्विस सेक्टर, ठीक है। सर्विस सेक्टर बिकम द हाईएस्ट वन एंड देन आपका एग्रीकल्चर, देन बट टुडे इट इज लाइक सर्विस सेक्टर हाईएस्ट वन, सेकेंडरी इज आपका द सेकेंडरी सेक्टर, ठीक है, विच कम्स रैंकिंग वाइज इट इज सेकंड इन एवरी केसेस, डिपेंडेंसी एज वेल एज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन, ठीक है। इस तरीके से याद रखोगे तो याद रह जाएगा। चलो नेक्स्ट वन, ओके। हाँ, सो देयर वाज सम सॉर्ट ऑफ समरी which was given in your book itself, ठीक है। So you can have some references, some pointers, ठीक है। So in term of GDP, purchasing power parity, India is third, ठीक है। According to the Angus Medition database, India and China contributed 50% of the global GDP in 1000 AD, ठीक है। As per the work of Cambridge economist Angus Medition, ठीक है, India's share of global income was 23% in 1600 AD. Then when Britishers left, it came to 3% only, ठीक है। British East India Company ignored industrialization in the nation and infrastructure was created not to industrialize India but to exploit its raw material, ठीक है। India accounted 33% of global trade in 1600 AD but fell to 3% in 1947. The pre-independence period was characterized by near stagnations with a little change in the organization of production and productivity levels. As per World Bank classification, we generally comes under lower middle income. with attributed to low per capita income and high level of poverty, unemployment, and illiteracy. Following independence and start of the planning process, agriculture share decreased while the share of industry and service increased. So this is the kind of like I found this particular summary very well. So that's why I kept this particular one, and I'll keep adding these type of summaries wherever it is required, right? So this is it, guys. No, now like there are few book question also. Again, so contribution of which sector is maximum to Indian economy? So what will be your answer? Tertiary sector. Again, so nowadays we have maximum contribution from this. If it is about the dependency, it is primary sector. Okay. In term of, though we are going to discuss sector of economy in detail in our next topic itself. Okay. In a term of GDP, purchasing power parity, we are third largest economy. Okay. As per the Angus mediation database, India's share to GDP was 23%. Again, this we just have discussed now. I hope you remember. So it was it is 23%. See, this is the line. Again, option 3 aapka, and that is the question 3 in this particular one. As per the World Bank classification, Indian economy is lower middle income. But you will not get that kind of question in your examination. Sometimes they ask for half marks only. ठीक है, तो इतने easy question आपको नहीं मिलते वहाँ पे. You will definitely get statement based question. And you have to practice these particular one very well. All right, so this is it. So this is all about our unit first of module A. That is Indian economic architecture. I hope you enjoyed this particular one. If you have some feedback and suggestions, please do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely include those particular feedbacks in our coming session itself, right? And if you are facing some challenges related to some specific topics and all, you can also share with me. So while we will start the revision things, or while we'll come to the module wise marathon or revision, we will definitely practice those particular topic and subtopic as well. All right. So this is it from my side, guys. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you for watching this session. I'll see you tomorrow with our unit number 2. All right. So this is it. Bye bye. Take care all, and all the very best for your preparation, guys. Thank you.